Hi, everybody. Hi. So good to see you. Hello. Oh, so nice to see you guys and to connect with you. Some of you I haven't connected with before, and some of you I connected with a lot, even just this morning. So for those of you I've already seen this morning, hello again. And those I haven't seen for a while, nice to see you. And those I haven't connected with yet, my name is Pip, and it's a real honour to welcome you today for the first day of the Mindful Visionaries training and coaching. So before we get started, what I'd love you to do is to go to the top right, and unless you're on a phone, you'll be able to do this. If you're on a phone, you might have to swipe. If you're on your laptop or your computer, you can go to the top and just pop the view on gallery view, because I want you to see each other. And this is one of the reasons why I have done this training. I have provided this training on Zoom and not as a Facebook Live, because I want you to all connect into each other. This is really, really important because you are a community and this is what I want to build. So if I do it as a Facebook Live, although there's that ease of being able to sort of tune in and drop in, you can't connect or drop in so much with each other. And so I want you to kind of go onto gallery view if you can. And I just want you to just take a moment to just look at each other and to connect into your communities. So I did say in the email that your camera will be on. So yeah. So just check in with each other. You are all working and providing magic for people. Wherever you are in your journey, whether you've been teaching or you haven't even finished your teacher training, got a few of you here who are still on teacher training, or whether you've been teaching for over a decade. I know I've got some of you in here who've been teaching more than a decade. You're supporting people. You are a community. And I think that's something really, really special. And so, yeah, pop in the chat. What I really want you to do as well is pop in the chat your Instagram handle so that you can connect with each other. You can start communicating with each other, because you are not alone in your choice of providing these amazing practices, healing, yoga. You're not alone. And it's quite often we feel alone, don't we? Especially this role of freelance yoga teacher or freelance. I've got healers here, sound healers, got Pilates teachers, got a whole range of what you guys do and offer. And we can be very alone. We're kind of doing everything, maybe on, obviously on Zoom now. And we're kind of not in the studios. Apart from Nala, who probably is in Sweden. Yeah. For those of you who aren't in the UK, you probably are back in the studio now. But for us that are in the UK, yeah, we're still very much at home. So, it's really feels like we can be really disjointed and kind of lacking that community and that connection. So I really want you to just soak in and take in each other and just feel each other. We have a collective mission. We've all got something in common. And that's that we want to heal people. We want to help them. Do you all agree with that? Is that something that you feel driven to do? You want to help people, heal them. You want to share these practices, whether they're yoga practices or whether you teach Pilates or whether you are doing sound healing or other. You have this purpose, you have this calling. You have something that you wanted to share. And we all share that. And I think what's so vital is we're so needed right now. And so when you're on your own and you're having those feelings of imposter syndrome, that you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you should be doing and what's your niche, who you're trying to reach, we kind of lose sight a little bit of our collective mission. And wherever you are in your journey, even if you haven't even started your teacher training yet, you're exactly, where you're meant to be, and you are supposed to be on this training, because this is getting you thinking now, before you even start on your journey of teacher training, or starting on your journey of your healing practices, starting to think about what is your mission, and that you are part of this collective mission. And that's really, really key. Because what is the soul essence of what we're doing? And that's what I wanted to share really with the Mindful Visionaries, is this sense that I, in my own journey, felt like I was getting really taken away from the essence of what I wanted to do, and getting very driven into the marketing. I was thinking, God, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this Facebook, I've got to do that. And it kind of ended up feeling like I was doing the job that I'd left. And don't you think, I kind of think I left the job, I left the corporate world, because I was on this hamster wheel of having to be producing and constantly go, and sort of delivering to these crazy deadlines. And I suddenly thought, I don't want to be doing that. That's not what I'm here to do. It's not what my heart wants to do. If I wanted to do that, if I wanted to be constantly hustling and feeling like I got to do this and do that and do that Facebook and then do this post and not really know why I'm doing it, and trying to do all this sort of business stuff, that I should have just probably stayed in the job that I was in, because that's what I was doing. So what made me want to bring the Mindful Visionaries was like when I stepped back and I thought, like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm feeling, burnt out, anxious. I'm trying to produce all this content, but I didn't know really why I was doing or what I was doing it for. Everything felt very sort of like I was trying to get ideas from different things that I'd seen. And actually, when I stepped back and I realized that, what are the values that I want to live by? What are the values that are important to me? And actually, it came back to the yogic values that first drove me into my yogic life. And I realized that once I put the values, my yogic values that I wanted to live by, into my business, things started to really align. Values like knowledge, gaining more knowledge for myself and sharing my knowledge with others generously. Like, I want to share my knowledge with you all generously, because I received that from teachers. So it's my duty to share it with you, to keep sharing the knowledge that I've acquired. And I think that is probably one of my kind of reasons for being on planet Earth. If you want to start thinking about what your reason for being on planet Earth could be, mine is sharing knowledge. I think the knowledge that I've acquired. And then realizing that I want to be completely authentic in my business, be completely authentic in what I was sharing. I wanted to be truthful. I wanted to get out of marketing ideas of saying things like, hey, everyone, I've got 2 spaces left on my workshop. If I didn't have 2 spaces left on my workshop, if I had 10 spaces left on my workshop, that's okay. Like, let's not lie and pretend we've got 2. Be truthful about where you're at. So instead of like using those ideas of like not being truthful, thinking of other ways that I could share. And actually it's like, well, why didn't I gift some places? If I had a workshop which wasn't busy, why didn't I do the yogic values and principles and actually gift a couple of spaces? Because when you are giving, it creates abundance. So I started to do that. I started to think, well, I've got a couple of spaces free. I will gift them, do them half price for people. And actually things started to grow. And actually, I'll tell you what I had most recently, I did this thing. I gifted a place to a very good friend of mine on one of the courses I was running. And she in turn was so grateful that I'd gifted her a place that she then had 3 of her friends sign up to the course. If you see that flow of abundance that can happen through me gifting a place, I then got 3 more people signing up because she said, I want you to sign up. So that's when you start to feel this alignment is working, when you're like, this is in alignment. This is truthful. This is sharing in a way that is empowering others and empowering yourself. And most of all, I think having values of compassion is really important in your business, and compassion for yourself. If you're feeling like what you're doing isn't in alignment, then you're not giving yourself the love that you need. And again, being compassionate to those that we're teaching, those that we're sharing with, is compassion one of your yogic principles? Now, you might have your own. These are, I'm sharing with you some of mine, and I'd be really interested for you to start thinking about, what are your values? What are the values that you learned through your training or your practices that you want to bring into your business? Because I want to just share something with you all that was also a big light bulb moment, which is, you are your business. It's you. You are not selling candles. If we were selling lovely scented candles and we could be a bit removed from our brand, wouldn't that be easier? Because you just got to say, hey, look at this amazing candle that I have. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. It smells incredible. It's got great packaging. Okay, but you got to do that about you, because you are your business. And so you got to start thinking about yourself in a way that you are in alignment, because if you're not, and you're feeling scared and withdrawn, and you don't want to move forward, and you don't want to show up, you don't want to be visible, how are people going to know you? Your yoga is you. You are not separate. Your Pilates or your ballet bar class or your whatever you're doing, whatever your sessions are and what you're sharing, you are it. People come to you. People don't come to my classes because I teach yoga. They come to my classes because they want me to teach them. And that's what people are going to come, why people are going to come to your classes or your courses or your workshops, because it's you. And as soon as you connect to that, rather than seeing that you're offering some generic class, or you just want to shy away and hide back a bit and let all your class do the talking, unfortunately, it's not going to work like that. Because you are unique. You are so valuable. And people want to connect with you. They want to connect with you. They want to know you. They want to be in your presence and to be guided by you. So when we start to feel like confident in being visible, we can start to be confident in showing and sharing, your knowledge, sharing what you know and your journey. And you don't have to be perfect. When I realized that probably a lot of my pain was actually my superpower, I felt so much stronger. Stop trying to be the perfect yogi and being the person that had flaws or liked to be a little bit of a rebel, like to do different things, That's when you can start to feel like you're being really authentic and not this kind of idea of what you think you should be, because that doesn't exist. You can only be you. And whatever that looks like is going to be perfect. So it's okay to be a yoga teacher who, wants to have, a few cocktails on the weekend or so, don't have to pretend. I thought I had to pretend that I, oh my goodness, I had to be completely, completely like well behaved. I couldn't be the person I was. I used to spend a lot of time in India denying myself who I was. And actually, when I just sank back into like, hey, this is me. I'm going to be me, and let's just see how that works out. Instead of trying to be this perfect yogi idea that I had in my head. And I tell you what, it worked out so much better, feeling so much more confident, empowered, just being myself. So I really want you to start to sow the seeds today. We're going to go on a bit of a journey, actually, of reflection, of you showing up as you. Okay, because the world needs you. The world doesn't need you being somebody else. Okay, it's you. Yeah, okay, guys. So for you, a lot of you here know me pretty well. Some of you don't know me so well on this session. For those of you who don't know me, this year I'll be stepping to becoming a senior yoga teacher, and I have a corporate background in working for private medical companies, working as a training regional manager across London, did that for over a decade, and worked all around the UK, sort of traveling around in London, training up medical staff, doctors and nurses for private medical clinics, and also managing clinics. And felt really like just got to this point. I mean, I was practicing towards the last few years of working in the company that was at that time. Just everything, it just didn't feel right. Just couldn't do it anymore. I just was like, I'm done with that Monday morning sales meeting. I'm done with trying to push, these different sales and trying to just being on that train to Maidenhead, like, just used to drive me mad. So I just felt so like not aligned, and I took the leap, and I went and started teaching yoga full time. I spent many years going to India, practicing in Mysore in India, and then traveling all around. And when I started teaching yoga, I shared this last night, I felt super overwhelmed. Felt really overwhelmed. And I think that I thought it was a really great thing to be going to India and going to Mysore. But actually, when you're practicing with the world's kind of best Ashtangis, you can feel pretty shit. You're like, oh God, like I thought I was quite good at yoga. And so I kind of like threw myself into doing that, thinking that was really great. And then actually thought, it was quite tough. I was practicing with some of the world's most famous yoga teachers. And one of the times that I was in India, I spent 2 weeks practicing literally next to a teacher called Laruga Glasser. If anybody knows her, she is insane, like her yoga practice. So I remember just like looking at her like, oh my God. And, you kind of like watching this and just thought, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Well, thinking I'm going to be a yoga teacher. This is crazy. There's so many better yoga teachers than me. And I was teaching yoga, and I think what really shifted was, like I was saying before, is I was trying to be something else, or something that I thought I should be. And when I actually started to do the work on visioning, what am I doing? And I realized that in my heart, in my essence, is to teach and to share. And what I really wanted to do was to support other teachers, to run teacher trainings, to run training courses, to set up a mentorship, because I wanted teachers to feel empowered and to feel like they were able to get to a place of feeling confident quicker. I didn't want anybody to feel that they were in that place of feeling like, I think everyone needs to go through the process of feeling a little like overwhelmed, but I wanted all the teachers that I connected with to feel super empowered. And then I just like everything aligned. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So that's my story, a very quick little bit of some of the things that I've done. And I set up a retreat company. I've run 25 yoga retreats, all everywhere, Sri Lanka, Marrakesh, the UK. And just keep feeling this like abundance, this growing, this sharing. And the more that I want to share, the more everything flows. And so that's what I wanted to share with you for this training, was this overfeeling of abundance I want you to call into your life. So let's start, first of all, by opening the session. I did ask you to bring a candle and matches. Don't worry if you didn't. But I'd like you to take your candle and I'd like you to light your candle. And then you can have your crystals around you. You might want to cleanse your space as well. And I want you to tune into this light from your candle, once you've lit your candle. I want you to tune into the light that is coming from this candle and know that you have this light within you. So just as this candle is sharing the light right now, is you have a light within you that is going to shine for someone else. And that our collective purpose is to keep sharing this light. So I just want you to take a moment to rest your eyes on the light of the candle. And I want you to close your eyes and start to tune into your sankalpa, your intention. Tune into the divine energy within. And I want you to listen to your heart's truth. We're going to set an intention for the 3 days, and maybe that's to show up for yourself. To not feel afraid of showing up for everyone else. You are worthy of being heard and seen. You are already who you need to be. And you get to be you every day. So tune into your heart and what your heart is calling out for you to do, to connect with. What is your mission? Drop down into your heart. What is your mission? Are you ready to step up and be in your truth? So every day we're going to sink into our heart's desire. Because this is where your manifestation is going to start. It might feel uncomfortable. It could even feel awkward. But until you start listening to your heart, how are you going to know where you're really going to go and what you want to do? And are you really ready to show up? Now is your time to shine. Now is your time to shine. When you're ready, take a deep inhale in. Exhaling out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Okay, and so before we start visioning and getting into our workbook, okay, I'm going to get you to just do a little shake it out. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of movement. Bear with me on this, okay? Because we're in this all together. I don't want anyone to be feeling all, we're just going to move our body because we are in, most, I think all of us, if we're not already, we're working in movement. If you're working in movement, we need to be able to move together. So we're going to have a shake it out. I'm going to put some music on for us to do a little shake it out too. So when you're ready, we're going to start to shake it out. Just close your eyes and shake it out. That was so good to see. Helen, your dancing is always so radiant. I love it. And Amy as well. Amy, your dancing was just good. I loved it. That was amazing. You know, you've got to step into being who you are or what you preach. You're sharing movement. You need to move. You need to feel fluid. The energy needs to flow. We're communicating with others in energy and movement. Is that right? Yeah. This is what we're dealing in. This is our product. Energy, movement, breath, body. So we've got to start thinking in that a lot. You know, are we doing that? Are you moving? Are you dancing? Are you flowing for yourself? Yeah. So expect more of that tomorrow. More tunes to shake it out and to flow. All right, guys. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to go through the workbook. If you haven't got the workbook to hand, of course, because it's a digital workbook, don't worry, I'm going to share it. And then you can work through it in your own time. So I'm going to go through the workbook, the step one today, the vision phase. And then what you can do is, because you've got the workbook, if you prefer, you can do this work on your own. I mean, I know some of you are at home, you're homeschooling, it's not easy. You might want to do this late at night once the little ones are asleep, and you can light some candles and you can set yourself some time aside. So I want to work through it with you guys today, but I also want you to have enough time to do it, you know, when works for you. So I will share my screen and we're going to go through it step by step. And I want you to drop in the chat any questions or anything you want to share. And let's get the energy flowing. All right, so okay. So we have step 1 for our vision, our mindful reflection practice. So this is where we're going to start off, and this is our starting point. No, this isn't like any other sort of trial where I'm going to just tell you to do this and then do this and do that. I will tell you that when some of you here are joining me on my my mentorship program, and for those of you who are joining my mentorship program, we will work through, you know, we work through step by step. We do this, we do this, I give you that information. But what we're doing is we're reflecting and we're opening up the channels, because before I can start telling you this is how you do this and do this and do this on Instagram or put this together, you need to get the energy channeled right. You need to know where you're moving with, otherwise you've got no roadmap. You don't know where you're going with it. And one thing can end up happening is you put a lot of energy, and I know because I did this, but a lot of energy into different things, and then realizing that they were just going into the wrong place. This energy was going into the wrong kind of channels. So let's sit into and drop into the body. And when you do this in your own time, you can sit, you can meditate, and you can breathe deep. But I want you to just bring your hands to your heart, and I want you to just take a moment to scan through the last 12 months. I want you to visualize the year and go back through the year that was. How did you feel last year? Can you tune back to last year and how you felt? 2020. I mean, my God, what a year. What a year. Look at what you did in that year. Look at what you achieved. Tune into how this is felt when we think about a collective feeling of that last year. One word that springs to my mind, I was talking recently to some friends, was trauma. It was traumatizing in some ways. It was traumatic. Okay, it's okay to feel traumatized. Traumatized feels having your power taken away. Felt power was taken away. Good, and then drop your hands down to your lap and open your eyes. So it's okay to reflect on things feeling traumatic, out of control, scary, painful, because we can move through pain. Pain is an energy, so we can move through that, but we can't deny it. If we deny it, we can't move through it because it's just stuck. So some of the questions I want you to work through is, how did you feel in each month? And I'd love you to take your time to map out each month. And you just need a word. I don't want you to think that you need to write your kind of like the year, you know, a whole sort of book, but more words. Like January 2020 was my 40th birthday. I was hopeful. Thought I was probably going to go to Burning Man festival in the summer. Didn't realize I was not going to be going anywhere in the summer. You know what I mean? So January 2020, it's like hopeful, you know, it's a big birthday. You know, what were you doing? What were you thinking of that year? February 2020, I'd completed a yoga retreat in Sri Lanka. I had lovely Ali, who's on this session with me, assisting me. About 20 guests. It was huge. It was great. It was powerful. And then came back and boom, March hit, fear, panic, So you can start to map out what was happening word by word. And then once you've worked out, you've mapped out and you've looked and reflected on every month and tuned back into that year, you can start to think about, what did you create last year? What came into your life that you created? Now, this could be not necessarily business related, it could be love, it could be a new direction, or it could be in a completely new career. I know some of you here, embarked on, teacher training. That's what you created in 2020, new possibilities. Did maybe you move house? Did you change direction in that way? And then moving into, what did you overcome last year? What challenges did you face? Yeah, what challenges did you face? I'm sure you've got some big things which you were thinking about, what might have really tested you. What might have really tested you in the year? What did you overcome? For me, I shielded with my parents. My parents are in their 70s, and I shielded with them for 12 weeks, which is a bonkers idea. What was I thinking? But I did it. I stayed indoors for 12 weeks with my parents. Think about, managed it, survived it, because I wanted to be there with them. I thought I would lock myself away with them for 3 months. So if somebody had said to me in January 2020, you're going to stay indoors with your parents 3 months, I'd have been like, no way, can't do that. But wow, what did you overcome? Did you the homeschooling, did you able to see change and transformation for yourself, despite having to turn up for your family, turn up for your partner? And how have you changed? What are you grateful for? And how did it help you? So what changed you last year? Did you have any big shifts? Do you have any big moves? And when you're reflecting on this, if you're feeling like you get stuck with trying to write things, write words. Don't feel like you always have to have a construct, like a full sentence, basically. Like some of you will write free flowing and it will come. And some of you will just need words, like, what did maybe you lost a job. What challenges you face? I had to get a new job. Just start to get the words down. Don't get too caught up in trying to write the whole picture. And this is just for you. This is private. If you need to burn this after because it's got things written down that you don't want to share with others, then you write it down and then you just guard it. Okay, you can do a little burning ceremony. I'm all about that. Write it down and then burn it. Nobody can see it. Okay. Now, what do you need to let go of that you're carrying into this year from last year? Is there anything that you've got that you're carrying through now? Is that fear? You've got some residual fear. And I'm not surprised if you do. Last year was super challenging, beyond anything we could believe. But you're still carrying in some fear or imposter syndrome, because that needs to get resolved. We need to change that. We need to look at that. Okay. Because if that's stopping you because you're feeling fearful, because you're feeling like the rug was pulled out from under your feet, then we need to change that. We need to work on that, because it will stop you from moving forward. It will stop you being in alignment and being in your truth if you are not showing up as yourself is for you every single day. I was sharing this with one of my teachers, that the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear. And so we are able to eradicate that fear with love. So we can do this. You can do it. You can change that fear, but identify it and then give it love. And I want you to think about a word that represents 2020. What word could represent 2020? Would it be shocking? Or loads of change, or surprising? I mean, maybe it was actually quite abundant. You know, maybe you're quite brave and did things that you didn't think you would. So thinking about a word that represents 2020. So your reflection practice is so key to then move forward. You're going to reflect on that year. You're going to see where you are at. So you're not just moving forward blindly without this connecting in with last year and then a letting go of last year. We need to release and let go. We need to tune in. And pop in the chat if anything's popped up that you were surprised of. It's really nice for you to share. If you're like, oh yeah, I hadn't really thought about last year. You're too busy thinking about trying to do all these different things that actually maybe had you reflected on last year. Have you know, really reflected at how brave you've been, how amazing you've been, how you have supported others, because you might not have given yourself that credit. You're just trying to kind of keep everything going. Yeah, lovely. Thanks guys for sharing. Transformational, amazing. Transformation, so good to see these. Lovely. Yeah, great word. And so wonderful to see that you know, have that transformation in that year. Beautiful. Adaptable. Yeah, Ali, totally adaptable and overcoming. Great words. Really good words. So once we've identified the year that was and reflected on everything that's happened, and like I said, you've got to keep coming back to this. It might be that you just need a little bit more time for things to settle. I wanted today to be us working together and then you feeling like, okay, you know where to go now, and to go and maybe to spend a bit more time on this. Yeah. So we're going to come into our next phase of vision. I'm just going to check all your lovely comments. Facing self-love, yeah, and being alone, yeah. Facing myself and my fear, yes, Hannah, amazing, yeah. Yeah, Helen's word for 2020 was odd. Good, yeah, good word. But you did so much, Helen, so much. I mean, saying odd, but totally like launched your business. Then if it was an odd year, but one where you have completely stepped up and launched your business. I built a yoga studio in your garden. I mean, that's pretty epic. Built a yoga studio in your garden, launched your own business. Yeah, I think actually maybe epic would be the word that I'd choose for your year. Completed the mentorship program with me. Yeah, did quite a lot actually, Helen. Yeah, creative. So, you know, it's amazing. You start stripping it back, and also like, yeah, start thinking actually did pretty good, did amazingly, in fact. So now let's also get into the nitty-gritty of identifying our limiting beliefs, because one thing I think is really important is that we don't enter this world of, especially with yoga world, or, you know, when you're in the wellness, the healing industry, of everything being all about, you know, flowers, and we're all jumping around and everything's great and everything's rosy and nobody feels shit and it's all wonderful, and isn't life just great? Because it's just so not real, is it? Because it's not like that. It's bloody hard running your own business when you're on your own. Okay, it's really tough. It's really tough times. And so I think it's really important to think about what your fears are, because it's okay to feel fearful. It's okay, but we've got to identify it, because if you don't tap into it and you're just like, hey, got to be positive every single day, then I feel like the cracks on the show and you're just like, I can't be positive every day. You can't, like, You don't have to be. And that's one thing that I realized as being a yoga teacher. I was trying to be super positive every day. And actually it's like, actually not. Sometimes I just feel rubbish. I don't want to be positive. Sometimes I just want to be under the duvet and quiet and reflective and feel fearful. And that's okay. Yeah, it's okay to feel scared. But it's important that we identify it and we don't deny it. So when we're identifying our limiting beliefs, like you have this new year ahead and it's full of possibility and potential. And again, every time you come to these practices, you sit with your breath, you feel your body and tune into your heart. Now, how does the thought of the year ahead unfolding make you feel? How does 2021 make you feel? How does this year make you feel? Hopeful? Does it make you feel scared? I mean, is it like making you feel like you're not sure, you've not got the direction? Do you need more direction? And I want you to take note of the worries that arise, if any. Can you identify any fears? What are you fearful of? Are you fearful of showing up? Are you fearful for being seen? Are you worried what people are thinking on social media? Because if you are thinking that, write it down and let's work on it. Let's work on it together. It's okay to feel like that. I'm pretty sure, like, hands up who feels scared of looking stupid on social media. Yes, I do. We all do. Yes, you're not alone. We are not alone. We all feel like that. Don't worry, it's okay. You just don't have to feel like that. Got ways of making it feel manageable, like ways of making it feel like it's great that you want to share. It's ways that you can change it up. So when you're sharing your message, you feel like, yeah, I want to be on social media because I've got so much to share and say. I've got so much I want to tell people. That overrides that fear of thinking that somebody might think what you've posted is rubbish, which they never do. But we still have that fear. Okay, so when we work on your message and we work on your vision, we're going to be working on your mission and how you can align. Then you just stop feeling those fears of showing up. That's what I want to work on with you. So what would you like to overcome this year? Is there something that was maybe last year, or maybe it's a new thing? Is there something that you'd like to overcome? And again, is it this fear of being visible, showing up, speaking your truth? Is there something that you haven't felt able to share? Or maybe it's something like just not feeling confident putting up your prices, because let's sort that out too. You know, are you still, you know, feeling like, oh, I can't charge more than that because no one's going to come? That is not true. You know, are you worried about stepping forward and saying, actually, I haven't increased the prices of my classes for like 5 years. I need to do it. You need to do it. You know, you got to do it confidence. You know, if you're feeling like you want to, you're not going to lose. You worried that you're going to lose students? Are you worried that you're not going to pass your teacher training? Are you worried that you're not going to be good enough? Like, because let's overcome it. What can we overcome? And how would you like to change this year? Is this a year that you're like, this is the year I'm actually going to do what I've set out to do? Is this a year I'm going to really step into that power? And then thinking about a word that you would like to represent 2021. I'd love to hear your word for 2021. What is the word? I mean, you can have more. You can have more. And when I did this work myself, it's just like stepping into like truth, community, building community. Massive. So your word for 2021, being seen, being heard. Lovely, great. So nice to see you, all your chats. Hope, yeah, prosperity, authentic joy, confidence and abundance. I love that word. Yes, lovely. Amazing. Confidence, absolutely. Because we've got to identify what's stopping us, what's blocking us. Let's get to you've got to get to the root of it, and you've got to draw it up, you've got to pull it up. Okay, I know it feels hard, it feels painful sometimes, but we've got to pull up what's limiting us. And then we move into the last phase of our vision practice, the mindful visioning practice. So, and this is when we're going to start to, I want you to start to think about dreaming big. And some of you I've already worked with on this before. It's really good to keep coming back to it, even if you've done this with me before. Maybe some of you have not done it ever. I want you to picture the year ahead without those fears and worries. What if they could all disappear? What happens if that was like your fear and worry was like being seen or not being good enough or not having enough money or things? And imagine if that all just went and you could overcome those limiting beliefs, those fears with ease, and there's no limitations. I want you to picture the year and there's nothing stopping you. I want you to sit with your breath. I want you to feel into your body. I want you to tune into your solar plexus, your bright yellow color, your confidence. Radiate your power in the world, your power out there. Because you have the power within you to create the year ahead that you want it to be. Nobody else can do it for you. No one else is going to come along and wave a magic wand and make your year the year you want it to be. Who can change your year? Who can make your year the one that you want it to be? You. It's you. It's always you that can create this change or to create this year that you want it to be. Nobody else. You could be waiting for somebody else to sort it all out and it won't happen. This is your mission. It's your life. So let's not wait for, you know, the time that you know, I'll wait and I'll do that when I've got more time, or I'll invest in that training when I've got more money, or I'll wait and I'll launch my course when I feel like it's ready. You are ready now. You're ready now. Everyone's waiting for it. Everyone's waiting for your classes. Everyone's waiting for you to step in and to sign up to that teacher training. Everybody's waiting because you have your gift. So what does your year ahead look like? Is it one where you grow, knowledge, change, you're teaching maybe, you're creating transformation? What do you wish to call into your life or more of? I don't want you to feel reserved or limited. You can call it all in. There's no limitation. The only limitation is, again, it comes back to you and your fears. If you're saying like, this is ridiculous, I can't call in what I want. Well, why? It's because you're fearful. If you're feeling like that, that's fear. Are you sure, you've got to work on it? You deserve this. Do you feel like you deserve this? Do you feel like you are worthy of calling everything in? Because you so are. But you might just need to work on that and think about that. Is there something that's stopping you feeling like you can do this? So I want you to think of a word that represents how you want to feel in the world. How do you want to feel in the world? I want you to say it, I want you to write it, I want you to feel it, and I want you to believe it. Remember, you choose to be you every day. And which version of you are you going to be? Are you going to be one in fear? Or are you going to be one that's empowered? So what word represents how you want to feel in the world? And I want you to say it, write it, feel it, and believe it. Yeah, passion. Heidi's written passion. Lovely. And share it. I want you to call it out. Share your word. If you've thought of your word and you're like, bang, that's it. Share it, because you need to declare it. Yeah, Gemma, leader. Love that. Absolutely. Yeah, great word. Own it. Own these words. Lovely, Wendy. Teacher. Yeah. An expert, Amy. Yes, expert you are. Exactly. This is what you are. People are going to look to you for your expertise. They need your help. You have it. You've got the knowledge. You've invested in yourself. You've done the training. You've worked on yourself. You've done the studying. Now you share it. But you've got to share it feeling like you can give everything, you know, that you can share it with this abundance and confidently. Amazing. Heidi says soulful. Yes, lovely. And Faye, knowledgeable. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, Nick, useful. Connected. Lovely. And Helen, able and belonging. Absolutely. You. Yeah, lovely. So these words like feel like when we're working through this sort of empowerment words, this is like this first step into tuning into what you are going to be moving forward with. For so much time, I kept doing the same old, you know, working through trying to like share what I was doing with my yoga classes and just putting out a post. Hey, everyone, come to yoga on Wednesday at 6. Look, you got more about you than that. You know, if you're sharing that message of, hey, come to a yoga class at 6 o'clock, why would anybody choose me? Why would anyone choose my class at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday? There's pretty much a million to choose from these days. You've got to be really clear about your message and what you're doing and your vision and how you're going forward with this. And then everything starts to move into place so that it's more than you're just offering a yoga class. What are you offering people? What are you giving them? What are you giving them this opportunity? And it's an opportunity to connect in with you and your expertise. I've got people in this session here who are, you know, you are all experts. I've got people in this session who've been teaching for a really, really long time. People want your expertise. I want to help you to share it. I want you to share it so that you are really stepping into this power of people being like, yeah, you know, people are going to be like, yeah, Zoe knows exactly what she's talking about. She's a yoga legend. Yes, everybody knows her in Dorset. So step into your power of that. So people are like, yes, they know exactly like what you're about, your flavor, your style. You know, you've got such a unique offering, each of you. And you've got Heidi. Heidi's got her amazing art. You know, she's going to infuse it with yoga. It's amazing. It's fresh. It's beautiful. It's going to be like incredible to have this down in Dorset and beyond. Let's not just think of being down in Dorset. Why not think further afield, you know? So you've got these unique offerings. And when you start to get really clear on what your vision is, it will start to come into alignment. So step 1, we vision. Step 2, tomorrow, we're going to elevate this vision. And then on day 3, we're going to align. Okay. So it's like step-by-step process. Okay. We've got to work through it. So I hope you're going to stay with me for all 3 days. I've got a little kind of bonus on the last day that I really want to share with you. And the magic happens, you know, as we work through this process. If you can't make all the days, don't worry, I've got it recorded. You can catch up. I want you to just feel that, you know, you're ready to step into it. You're ready. You've reflected on the year. You're going to create this vision. And things will come to you at different times. If right now you're thinking, this isn't like, there's nothing coming up, give it time. It will come up, right? It will come. Okay. If you're feeling like, I don't know, you know, you just got to give yourself some time. Maybe doing the questions, maybe you just need a bath, you know, chill out. Maybe it's you've got to find the time right for you. Maybe doing these questions maybe early in the morning might work, maybe more will come up. So keep coming back to it. It's just not a one-hit practice, okay? Your reflection practices and visioning, keep coming back to it. All right, my lovelies, so good to connect with you today. Day one done, amazing. Thank you so much for your input and for sharing. Again, pop the view on gallery so you can see each other, your beautiful community of healers, well-being experts. You're all wonderful. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for day 2 to elevate this vision. More moving around, more visioning. And drop me a message, share on your stories. It's really great to share this message and to let me know how you're getting on. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Okay, my loves, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. And when you're ready, you can blow out your candle. Thank you.